Welcome, Moon and Star, to this place where destiny is made.
Hey, something, man. Alright, let's go in. Alright, sir. What would you like? Sir?
Stupid.
Holy shit, man. Stop. What the fuck is wrong with you? Sir, please. Stop calling him sir. He prefers Daddy Dagoth, okay? Dad, calm down, okay, bud? Just cool your fucking jets. Oh, I swear I'll kill you.
Oh, please, Nerevar, spare me.
Dude, just take your order and stop fucking with the waiter. Sir, please, what would you...
Is this how you honor the 6th house and the tribe unmourned?
Listen, Dagoth, he didn't mean it. Okay, let me just order for him. He'll take the fucking scrambled eggs. Are scrambled eggs okay? Okay, thank the gods.
What a grand and intoxicating nest.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, although they didn't get my food yet. Oh, here it is. What the fuck is so funny? Seriously, what's so funny?
Did you get the dogs?
No, you jackass, it's bacon. Why would they even have dog here, and why is bacon so funny?
I'm a vegan.
But you got eggs. Can't be vegan if you got eggs.
Too late. This is the end. The bitter, bitter end.
Oh, come on now, don't get all sad on me. You can still be vegan if you eat eggs, if you just pretend.
This is getting tiresome.
Listen, dude, I'm just trying to enjoy my goddamn breakfast like you did. If you have a problem with that, just leave.
Farewell, sweet Nerevar. Better luck on your next nest.
God, that guy really is a douche. Anyways, where was I? Oh, yeah, this is a fucking Morrowind review. How the hell did I get so sidetracked? No matter. John, transition! Welcome, dear viewers, to Skyrim 3, Morrowind. Yes, thank you, yeah, thank you, yes, I know, thank you. Now, some of you may have seen my other video on Skyrim. If you didn't, feel free to check it out, or, you know, fucking don't, it's your life. But in that video, I made several references to Morrowind when I compared some of its systems to that of Skyrim. However, I've never actually played Morrowind. Well, that's a lie, I have played Morrowind before. Wait, no, that's also a lie. Okay, I have technically played Morrowind before, as in I have launched the game before. But to say that I have really played Morrowind would be pretty misleading, as the farthest I've ever gotten is communicating with some shirtless drug dealer and getting my ass handed to me by fucking rats. Rats, man? Really? I've had a fucking rats? The fuck do I look like, the EU? And since that short escapade, I have been openly critical of Morrowind. I mean, for fuck's sake, my YouTube bio was quite literally, I hate Morrowind. However, upon completion of my Skyrim video, I had a sudden great urge to play Morrowind that just came out of nowhere.
Hee hee hee! Ha-ho! To the workshop he will go. My uncle's candy is so sweet. It's such a yummy winter's treat.
And it's at that moment that I knew I had to play through Morrowind in its entirety and deliver another horribly produced video on YouTube for the 10 people who actually watched me. Thanks, by the way. So, without further ado, John, roll the intro. Now, Morrowind is a rather long game. Like, really fucking long. However, we kinda have to start somewhere, and what better place than the beginning? Morrowind is the third installment in the Elder Scrolls franchise. Released in 2002, this game was kind of like Bethesda's last chance, for if it failed, they would have gone bankrupt. Thankfully though, the game released to glowing reviews and a lot of attention. This game was a massive success and a big title for the original Xbox. To put it simply, if Morrowind never existed, neither would Oblivion, nor would Skyrim. Or that fucking card game. Yes, I play the card game. Although Bethesda are really pushing their luck with the fucking invade decks. Gotta invade. I gotta invade. You don't understand. I just gotta invade. Just gotta invade. I'm not mad. No, I'm not angry. That aside though, back to Morrowind. What I'm trying to say though is that Morrowind is a game that saved a company. But is it really that good? Well, that was the exact question I set to sort out upon launching Morrowind about a few weeks ago. The game starts innocently enough. You're a prisoner on a ship. You wake up and talk to a guy who is not important whatsoever. He's just some rando who will never amount to anything. He is almost certainly not the most heroic character in the entire Elder Scrolls franchise for his glorious deeds. No, that would just be dumb. Anyways, you enter a name, the papier-mâché guard comes to get you, and you go to make the rest of your character involving choosing your race, class, skills, etc. Now, I'm not gonna do a whole fucking race tier list like I did for Skyrim, but just know that I picked a Dark Elf because they're fucking badass in this game, which is appropriate considering the game's setting. More on that later. Anyways though, I mean that's it. You create a class and here you are, in Morrowind. Wait, but hold on, my brain no compute. Why is there no big explosion or death fire? Well, my fellow retard, let me lay it out for you. Morrowind is a game that obviously takes a very different approach to its world building than Skyrim. In Skyrim, the game opens balls to the fucking wall with dragons, explosions, and death fucking. Don't even think that's a word, but it's sure as shit appropriate.
Screaming in holy fucking terror of fucking fire and brimstone. Do you fucking get it?
Yeah, totally understand.
Morrowind, on the other hand, just kind of puts you into the world. You arrive in Vvardenfell, make your character, and there you go. What the fuck is that? What the fuck just happened? What the... It scared the shit out of me, Jesus Christ. The only thing the game gives you to go off of is you need to deliver a package to some guy named Caius Casadas in Balmora. Who this Caius is and where the fuck Balmora is, who knows? You gotta find out. This is something that I deeply love about this game. It doesn't tell you shit. You gotta be the one to figure it out. Almost like you're role-playing? Oh my god, what a concept! However, this approach does have a dark side to it, and I will address it later, but it's enough for now just to understand how this game approaches its mechanics. Now, before going any further, allow me to lay out the setting and the plot of Morrowind. Morrowind takes place in, well, Morrowind, more specifically on the very large island of Vvardenfell. Important landmarks include Red Mountain, Azura's Coast, and the fucking Labyrinth. Now enough about geography, what about the plot? Morrowind's plot is centered around prophecy. I mean, it's an Elder Scrolls game, fuck you expect. More specifically though, it's centered around the Nerevarine prophecy. Many years ago, when the Dwemer was still around, there was a race of people known as the Chimer. These golden-skinned elves were known to feud with the more technologically savvy Dwemer. However, at some point, they signed some fucking peace treaty and they were all friends. However, word got out that Kagranak, a Dwemer engineer, discovered the heart of an ancient god buried deep beneath Red Mountain known as the Heart of Lorkhan. Obviously, being the still beating heart of the god of their plane of existence, it's something of immense power. Upon finding the heart, Kagranak developed the tools, Keening and Sunder, which he would use to tap into the heart in order to create a brass god called the Numidium. However, the Chimer got word of this and were outraged. What followed was known as the Battle of Red Mountain, where the Chimer and the Dwemer fought in what was probably the single most important event in Elder Scrolls history. Long story short though, the Dwemer attempted to unlock the secrets of the heart once and for all and power the Numidium. However, upon activation, they all disappeared without a trace. An entire civilization and race swept from the face of existence without so much as a sound. What happened after this is largely debated. However, it is presumed that the war hero Nerevar, who largely led the battle against the Dwemer, tasked one Vorin Dagoth to protect the tools of Kagranak so they may not be used for harm. Then, Nerevar spoke with the Tribunal, the three living gods, Almalexia, Vivec, and Sotha Sil. They finally decided the tools should be locked away. However, Dagoth, seemingly going mad from the emanating power of the heart, declared himself the keeper of the tools and used them to tap into the heart and gain immeasurable power, declaring himself a god, becoming who we now know as Dagoth-Ur. However, the Tribunal came to Dagoth and fought him. Dagoth-Ur, while definitely powerful, wasn't strong enough and fell to the three warriors. The following events are also highly debated, but somehow the hero Nerevar died and the tribunal used the tools of Kagrenac themselves to also tap into the heart, also becoming living gods. While this is definitely not confirmed, I find it most likely that the tribunal actually murdered Nerevar to seize the tools and make themselves gods. Whatever happened though, the Daedric prince known as Azura was infuriated by the actions of the tribunal and swore that there should come a reincarnation of the hero Nerevar, born to uncertain parents in an uncertain place at an uncertain time, and by the grace of gods and fate, bring an end to the false gods of the tribunal. This is known as the Nerevarine prophecy, and Nerevar reborn would be the Nerevarine. Azura also cursed the Chimer people and turned them into the modern Dunmer, turning their skin from a glorious gold to a gloomy gray. Now this is all shit that happens before the game. Now let's talk about what happens in Morrowind. You obviously play as this Nerevarine, the prophesized reincarnation of Nerevar in a time long after the events I just explained. However, strangely enough, the main plot actually doesn't have the tribunal being the main villains. Instead, it is Dagoth-Ur. That's right, Vorin Dagoth from hundreds upon hundreds of years ago is seemingly back, but not really out of nowhere. You see, upon his defeat by the hands of the tribunal all those years ago, he never really died per se, he was just defeated. However, through an unknown manner, Dagoth-Ur had been slowly sapping the power located within the heart of Lorkhan during his time, seemingly away from the realm of existence. In a sense, he had been hibernating, but getting stronger with every passing minute. One day, the tribunal made their semi-annual trip to the Heart Chamber and were surprised to discover Vorin Dagoth, their old friend and enemy, guarding the heart, now called Dagoth-Ur. A major battle ensued in which the tribunal were forced to retreat because the power of the man now calling himself a god was just too immense. Dagoth-Ur then began to awaken long-sleeping members of his old house, the sixth great house of Morrowind, the Sleeping House, the house that has been away since the Battle of Red Mountain. House Dagoth. Together they bestowed upon Vvardenfell a blight so terrible and so mysterious it became known as a divine disease. Corpus disease. This disease caused great harm and cancerous growths and would turn people into mindless flesh-eating zombie-like creatures. Also, strangely enough, it would make one impervious to all other diseases. Nonetheless, huge blight storms sweep the Isle of Vvardenfell until the tribunal, with the help of the Isle's mortal residents, constructed a ghost fence around Red Mountain to keep away the blight storms and its corpus monsters. In order to keep this fence operational, the souls of mortals and the power of the tribunal of living gods was required. This fence seemed enough to stop Dagoth and his plans. For now. However, without access to the heart, the tribunal's power seemed to weaken, and the power of Dagoth just kept increasing. This is where things begin in the game. You, a prisoner, arrive in Vvardenfell on the command of the Emperor himself, who would see you released. As stated earlier, you are, of course, the Nerevarine. In-game, you get your first tasks from a Blades agent known as Caius Casadus, who is a shirtless drug dealer. He has you unlocking the mysteries of the Nerevarine cult and the prophecies surrounding them. This is all because the Emperor suspects you may be the Nerevarine, and of course would want such a powerful hero to be a member of the Blades, an organization under his control. At any rate, the Nerevarine discovers ancient knowledge and fulfills many trials of the prophecy throughout the game as he completes missions and speaks with certain people. This of course encompasses a large majority of the game, but I won't spend too much longer talking about it. At the end of the day, the Nerevarine is named the Nerevarine of the 4 big Ashlander tribes and is also named Hortator by 3 of the great houses of Morrowind. As this happens, he is contacted by Vivek, a member of the tribunal, and is asked to speak with him. As all of this occurs, by the way, Dagoth has been increasing in power and has begun to reach out to people in their dreams and turn them to his cause, creating what are referred to as dreamers throughout the game. Pretty creepy if you ask me. Anyways, Vivek lays out a plan to defeat Dagoth-Ur by disrupting his connection to the heart of Lorkhan using the very tools of Kagrenac themselves, Keening, Sunder, and Wraithguard. The Nerevarine finds these tools, brings them to the center of Red Mountain, fights Dagoth-Ur, and disrupts his connection to the heart of Lorkhan using these tools, killing Dagoth-Ur, the false dreamer, the Sharmat, and fulfilling his prophecy as Nerevarine, as this also ruptures the connection the tribunal has to it, rendering them mortal once more. Then Azura herself congratulates you, and by God, kid, you're a hero. Now, believe it or not, that was the SparkNotes version of the story. I simplified a lot, and later in the video I plan to talk more about the amazing villain Dagoth-Ur is, but for now I think that's plenty enough. Suffice it to say, the lore and story in this game is absolutely 510% godlike. This game has the best writing and in-depth lore of any Elder Scrolls games by a long shot. Hot damn is it good. However, I'm thinking we take a break away from the nerd shit and talk about the real blood and gore and cum and tits here, the fucking gameplay. Now, talking about Morrowind's gameplay is very, let us say, complicated. On one hand, Morrowind has by far the worst combat of the modern Elder Scrolls games. On the other hand, Morrowind has by far the best combat of the modern Elder Scrolls games. Wait, what? Yeah, I really don't know where to objectively rank Morrowind's combat. On one hand, chance-based hit mechanics don't really translate very well to real-time action games where you are quite literally hitting your opponent and still missing. On the other hand, Morrowind has a mega shit ton way more complexity to its combat than either Oblivion or Skyrim, especially Skyrim. For reference, I played as a mage in this playthrough, and just the sheer amount of shit I could do was just incredible. I could do all the regular mage stuff like fire, ice, and lightning magic, along with summoning minions, increasing my health, yada yada yada. But what's really cool about Morrowind is everything else it allows you to utilize. From spells that let you lockpick, to invisibility spells, to spells that let you jump across the map, to spells that make you Jesus, to spells that quite literally let you fly. Yes, fly! Morrowind's combat may be strangely made and certainly borderline infuriating, especially at the beginning of playthroughs, but the systems surrounding the combat and the sheer amount of customizability you have to your playstyle is absolutely astounding. For these reasons, I can't in good conscience really claim that Morrowind's combat sucks. Is it perhaps strange? Certainly, yeah, I'd say so, and it takes some getting used to, but once you are, I honestly think that despite its clunkiness, it holds up well even today, if not just because of the great systems at play here. Combat isn't the only aspect of gameplay though, and it's in these aspects that Morrowind continues its long streak of Mount Everest level highs and Mariana Trench level lows. Let's talk exploration. Now, I don't really think that it's too much of a hot take to say that from an exploration standpoint, Morrowind is easily the worst of the big three. Most dungeons look relatively the same, most of the environment is just muddy textures filled with asshole animals, and oh no, there just really isn't that much to find. That's obviously not to say that there's nothing to find, as there are plenty of great side quests and other such side content, but in general, I'd say that in Morrowind, there are fewer secrets to uncover as you traverse the landscape than in more modern Elder Scrolls titles. However, this frankly is to be expected. You cannot really expect an older game to be able to fit in quite as much content as new titles. It's just not really feasible. But what Morrowind lacks in scope, it more than makes up for it in depth. Sure, there may be fewer things to find and interact with in Morrowind, but the things you do find and interact with are of superior depth. If I had to compare Morrowind and Skyrim to bodies of water, I'd call Skyrim a vast ocean that's merely a foot deep, and Morrowind as a quaint lake that extends to the core of the earth. What Morrowind has on offer is frankly of far more depth than anything Skyrim has to offer, and in no place is this more apparent than in the guilds. The guilds of Morrowind are not only higher number, but they make much more sense from a logical and gameplay standpoint. In Morrowind guilds, you have to have certain skills to be able to rank up in those guilds. For example, you have a very difficult time ranking up in the Mages Guild as a warrior. Oh, and speaking of ranking up, Morrowind guilds have ranks. Basically, what this means is that you don't magically become the leader of every guild after completing like 3 missions. You have to actually rise the ranks of the guilds and complete certain milestones, stat checks, and other requirements before moving up. If you move up high enough, usually there's some sort of quest where you can finally take control of the guild. For example, after becoming a wizard in the Mages Guild, I challenged the Archmage to a duel in the Vivek Arena. He accepted, I beat his ass, and now I'm the Archmage.
Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Considering how damn long it took to get to wizard rank and the fight itself being pretty difficult, it felt earned, and I definitely felt a sense of pride and accomplishment upon becoming Archmage. Listen, all I'm trying to say is that while both Morrowind and Skyrim may have fun guild quest lines, Morrowind's guilds feel more immersive, worthwhile, and rewarding. The last aspect of gameplay I will mention before moving on will be how stats work and how they relate to combat. When leveling up in Morrowind, you have the opportunity to increase 3 of 8 stats: strength, intelligence, willpower, agility, speed, endurance, personality, and luck, each obviously having their own benefits to specific playstyles. Strength affecting melee weapon damage, carrying capacity, and more. Intelligence affecting max magic and enchant. Willpower affecting spellcasting success rates and resistance to magic. Agility affecting weapon hit rate, evasion, and more. Speed affecting, well, take a fucking guess. Endurance affecting health, fatigue, and more. Personality affecting persuasion, mercantilism, and more.
Hey, what do we got here? This is
Dark Brotherhood set that I stole off of a corpse.
I bet 40. There's no money at 40.
37?
No, I'll go 35. It makes no sense for me to give you a dime more than that.
All right, you got a deal.
Oh, sweet, man.
And luck affecting everything in a small way. All these are obviously important and will largely depend upon what playstyle you're going for. But where I start to have issues is with these 3 bad boys: your health, stamina, and magicka meters. Now, the issue I have with these is that, with the exception of stamina, none of these regen on their own. That is to say that neither health nor magicka regen on their own, and the only way to regain health or magicka is through potions or resting. Now, I'm not too bothered by health not regaining, but the big diarrhea-caked dust bunny shit-eating cherry atop the asshole sundae here is the non-regenning magicka. As I've said multiple times, I played a mage this run, and although I had a great amount of fun in general with the cool spell mechanics, I consistently throughout the game absolutely 110% despised having to rest all the fucking time to regain magicka. I mean, for shit's sake, most of the time I'm barely able to take out like 2 enemies at the same time without having to spam potions. So when I go into a dungeon, for example, a lot of the time I end up killing 1 enemy, retreating, resting, and repeating. It honestly just gets really fucking tedious. Now, I know some Reddit turbo virgin is gonna say, well, it's for a balance, you absolute plebe. And yeah, I get that, but how about you just balance the spells themselves instead of fucking handicapping every mage and forcing them to go to sleep 30 times throughout the day? Oh, man, I'm sorry, but till the day I fucking die, I hate that magicka doesn't regen on its own, and the next time I play this game, if I play a mage, I am sure as shit downloading a mod. Now, I know I said that would be the last aspect of gameplay, but I lied. Okay, sue me. Next, I want to talk about just general things. For example, Morrowind lacks some of the more expected things in RPGs nowadays. For example, fast travel. Now, Morrowind is hardly the first or last RPG to ever leave out fast travel. For example, KOTOR 2 does not feature a fast travel mechanic. The difference between this game and KOTOR 2, though, is that the environments you explore in KOTOR 2 aren't the size of fucking Russia. I mean, listen, I gotta admit, halfway through the game, I started using console commands to just teleport to certain cities. Now, before you guys punch me in the dick, piss in my mouth, and light my house on fire, just allow me to explain, okay? I did this very sparingly, and only if no conventional transport was around, and if it was really far away. I mean, can you blame me? In this game, the characters run slower than mucus flowing through an ostrich's asshole, and half the time the devs deliberately have you go to one end of the map to talk to someone, just for it to tell you to go all the way across the fucking earth, with conveniently there being no transport around. I'm sorry, but when it's 1 AM and I'm just trying to finish the game for a video and the game fucks me like that, I'll just use the console commands to teleport to Balmora, thank you very much. Also, the game has no quest markers. Now, my opinion on this varies. Sometimes I really like this, as it can force you to use the signs on the road, directions from other NPCs, and your map in tandem with your thinking power to try and find where you need to go, almost like you're an actual explorer. However, other times it just gets really tedious and annoying, especially when the game doesn't really tell you where to go, or even fucking worse, when it tells you to go the wrong way. I mean, how do you even fuck that up? I rely on your directions on where to go, and they're just completely wrong. So, in the end, my opinion on the lack of quest markers is a neutral one, and in the next Elder Scrolls game, I wish they would add an option to turn them off, and design the game in such a way that you could find where you need to go without them, so that I could play without the markers, but if I really get stumped, I can turn them on and have them point me in the right direction. Now, I have already briefly touched upon the lore of Morrowind, but now I'd like to talk a little bit about the writing in general. Now, while there may be nothing really wrong per se with the writing in Oblivion or Skyrim, but after playing this game, I've just fallen in love with its writing. I've already touched upon the plot, so I won't much here, but hot damn is it good. However, obviously, there's more to writing than just a plot, and even in these areas, Morrowind absolutely kills it. For example, Morrowind has, by a far, the best, most well-written characters in the entire series. Characters like Dagoth-Ur, Vivek, Alexia, random NPCs, and even the Reverend himself are just written so wonderfully. I mean, the best written character in Skyrim, I think, is probably Parthenax, but even he doesn't really reach the same level as most of the characters in Morrowind. Everything just feels so real. It all just seems to make sense. Characters don't just do shit because the plot requires it. They all have their own interesting motivations, capabilities, backstories, weaknesses, strengths, and everything else that makes a great character. For example, I would like to talk more in depth about the game's villain, Dagoth-Ur. In my mind, Dagoth-Ur is without a doubt the best written Elder Scrolls villain by a long shot. Sure, Alduin the World Eater is badass, and Maroon's Dagon, the Daedric Prince of Change, is also pretty neat, but there's just something so compelling and, dare I say, intoxicating about who and what Dagoth-Ur is. His plans, his motivations are just so interesting. I already laid out some information about him earlier, but allow me to recap. Dagoth-Ur, way back when Nerevar was still alive, many hundreds of years before the events of Morrowind, was a man named Voron Dagoth. He was the leader of one of the great houses of the Chimer, House Dagoth. He was also a loyal friend of the hero Nerevar. After the events of the Battle of Red Mountain occurred, Dagoth-Ur was tasked to guard the tools of Kagrenax so that such a thing could never happen again. However, having these tools and being in such proximity to the heart of Lorkhan proved too much for the man, and he began seeking power for himself, refusing to give the tools back to Nerevar and the Tribunal, proclaiming himself the guardian of the tools. Eventually, the Tribunal were forced to seek him out and stop him once and for all. Or so they thought. What they didn't understand is that Voron Dagoth was never killed. After his defeat, Dagoth somehow maintained a connection to the heart, siphoning its power over centuries upon centuries until one day, he came back, ambushing the Tribunal and starting a sort of war. a war in which he had the advantage. Though the Tribunal had built the ghost fence around Red Mountain, that meant that Vorin Dagoth, now called Dagoth-Ur, was able to siphon more and more power from the heart. His plan was to build a new sort of Numidium, a brass god he now called Akulakan. He would use this god as a figurehead to establish a theocracy in Morrowind where people would worship this new god, a god he created. He would do this by manner of Blightstorms, legions of ash vampires, the reawakened sleepers of House Dagoth, and his own godlike powers. In fact, Dagoth believed himself to be God. Note, I did not say a god. Dagoth believed himself to be the god. In the Elder Scrolls, there's a sort of all-encompassing truth known as Kim. In the Elder Scrolls, the complete truth is that these are fictional characters. I mean, really, they are. Does the Elder Scrolls universe actually exist? Well, no, it doesn't. This being the case, all of the Elder Scrolls can be perceived as essentially a dream, and in the Elder Scrolls, this dream is visualized through the lens of a godlike being called the Godhead, in which the entirety of the universe takes place. Essentially, all of the Elder Scrolls is a dream of a god. This is all essentially a very meta way of saying that they are all just video game characters. The people who realize this in the universe blip out of existence. As soon as you realize you are not an individual and that you are just a blip in the Godhead's dream, you cease to exist. You are, in a sense, divided by zero. This is largely thought to be what happened to the Dwemer. Upon activation of the Numidium, they likely all realized this truth somehow and were removed from existence. However, those who achieve Kim realize they are in such a dream, yet they still remain their individuality. They are, in a sense, lucid dreaming. And such, they do not disappear. Instead, they are granted a new form of enlightenment and have godlike powers as they can manipulate reality as they see fit, considering they are lucid dreaming. Characters like Vivek have achieved this state. For example, Vivek tells us that he doesn't even wish to fight us if we choose to try and kill him because he knows he will lose. Not because he is weak, but if he does win, we will simply manipulate the events until we win, aka load back a save until we do kill Vivek. In that sense, defense is pointless. It could be said that Dagoth-Ur achieved a similar realization, except instead of realizing that everything is all, he somehow came to the conclusion that everything is me. So basically, he believes that all of reality exists within him and that he is this godhead. This delusion is what makes Dagoth-Ur so incredibly powerful, yet misguided. He truly does want to do good for the people of Morrowind and Tamriel as a whole, but his visions of grand delusion led him down a path of darkness, and in the end, he's just a crazed god in the heart of a mountain, causing Blightstorms and raising long-dead beings to do his bidding. Who was Dagoth-Ur? Was he enlightened? Crazy? Evil? Good? Perhaps he was all of these things, and yet at the same time, perhaps he was none. However, in the end, I'm not quite sure that it mattered. When the Nerevarine finally meets Dagoth for their final battle, he does not attack. Instead, he speaks in a rather friendly manner, and greets the player as Nerevar, his old friend. The main character and Dagoth chat for a while, perhaps even feeling regret for some of what he has done or what he believes he has to do in the future. He doesn't even attack first, letting the player initiate the battle.
So that was a fucking lie.
The battle is rather hard. I mean, he is a god. However, eventually Nerevar Moonenstar, reborn, the Nerevarine, breaks through and finds himself at the heart of Lorkhan, where he uses Kagranak's tools, Keening, Sunder, and Wraithguard to sever Dagoth-Ur's connection to it and his power with it. Dagoth, a shadow of his former self, yells out,
What are you doing? What are you doing? Fool! Stop! Too late. This is the end. The bitter end.
And with the final few blows exchanged between the two, Dagoth-Ur fades from existence. As Nerevar makes his escape, Dagoth is gone, Akulakan is destroyed, and the prophecy is fulfilled. There is no doubt in my mind, Dagoth-Ur is the best villain in the Elder Scrolls, and it isn't even close. Truly, what a grand and intoxicating villain. Now, this is where I would have spoken briefly about the DLC. However, I didn't exactly play them. Now, I definitely could have. However, I really just wanted to get this video out as fast as I could because I knew it was going to be a while to edit and just didn't end up playing the expansions. Who knows, perhaps I'll play them in my free time and make a separate, smaller video on it. Just don't count on it. Before I start to wrap things up here, I gotta briefly mention mods. Now, I will not lie, the mods here aren't quite as expansive as those of Skyrim, but I personally find them infinitely more useful. I mean, let's not beat around the proverbial bush here. Morrowind is an old-ass game. I mean, I hate to admit it, but it's older than I am. Slightly. This being the case, Morrowind isn't exactly with the times, you know? I mean, computers then and computers now is like comparing Honey Nut Cheerios to the regular ones. There is just no comparison. What I'm trying to say is that this game looks like hot shit and it has some bugs. This being the case, there are plenty of mods adding patches, fixes, and amazing graphical improvements. And although I usually try to play games in their vanilla state for reviews, there was an approximately 0% chance that I subject my poor eyeballs to this electronical vomit. Phew, that's better. But yeah, Morrowind mods are pretty fucking sick. Did you know that there's a team of volunteers modding the entirety of Morrowind into the Skyrim engine, and they plan to release it as a free mod? Wild times, man. I mean, you know, back in my day, the Bethesda I used to know was too lazy to finish their game, so the fans patched it for them. But now Bethesda is taking this shit to a new height of laziness and letting the fans make the entire game for them. I mean, that's just impressive. At any rate, though, ladies and gents, that's Morrowind. I know I said this in my Skyrim video, but there truly is no game like Morrowind. The sheer depth and quality of this game's mechanics, systems, writing, lore, and everything else is just fucking impressive. To put it simply, I came into Morrowind expecting to hate it, and came out absolutely loving it. I've been reformed from a dirty Skyrim boy to a man who listens to Dagoth-Wave alone in his room. Actually, come to think of it, things haven't really changed that much. I'm still very much alone. But, Morrowind. Yeah, Morrowind. Amazing game. A grand and intoxicating masterpiece. Wait, didn't I make that joke already?
Welcome, moon and star, come to me through fire and war. Oh, oh, come Nerevar, come and look upon my heart, look upon my heart. Oh, lay down your weapons, it is not too late for my mercy.